What's up YouTube? This your boy D Wayne, bringing you another video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be doing with you guys today is giving you two different sets of discussions. First, you guys already know it's ban list time again, so I'll be discussing the January ban list and let you know my overall thoughts on it. And secondly, I'm going to give you a discussion on the primal origin cards. Alright, so basically let's get into it. First I'm going to do the ban list and then the primal origin. Alright, so basically first what we have is on the forbidden list now for January is a Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine obviously made the dragons move. So basically that's basically one of the nails of the coffin that they put into the Dragon Ruler deck to, make sure it doesn't come back to life again. So it was good that it got banned. Alright, secondly, we got Return from a Different Dimension, another card that helped the dragons move. Basically, when all the cards that they banish and stuff to get their summons off and stuff, and they basically pay half, especially summon all those banished monsters that come back, that basically means an OTK, you just basically scoop it up. So they banned it for that reason, and probably that reason alone. Alright, so basically that's that. Self-destruct button, it forces a draw. If the life points are about 7,000 higher, it forces a draw. It's not exactly a win or lose condition, but it can stop you from losing the game altogether. So I guess they banned it for that reason. 6 cents for basically its overall brokenness in certain types of decks that revolve around getting monsters to the grave or cards to the grave, like Light Swarms and stuff. And basically the overall card advantage you get when you call it right, because obviously you're going to, upon this card's activation, 5 or 6. If you draw any of those, you're getting 5 or 6 cards potentially, and giving you a great advantage during the next turn. So awesome card to have. That's why they rather forbidden that card. So no more advantages for us. Alright, that's that. So now we have the limited, which is basically all they got rid of all the dragons, got rid of Blaster, Redox Tempest Title, Breeze Dragon. They basically reduced all the dragon rulers down to tech cards for their corresponding attributes. Obviously Blaster for Fire, Redox Earth, Tempest Wind, Tidal Water. So yeah, that's pretty good for me. That's fine because I never played them in a deck altogether. I played them in their corresponding attribute decks, so that's just fine by me. I just have to make space for the 2 of the corresponding dragon ruler that I'm gonna have to take out of my decks, which is fine by me. The Breeze Dragon, of course, the Breeze Dragon limited to the Breeze Dragon because that was their ticket to a Star Eater, and when Star Eater hits the field, nothing can be activated, and when it attacks, it can't be affected by anything, so they limited that. That's fine as well. They brought out Magician of Faith. She's at 1 now. I don't know, she actually is nowhere near as good as she was back in the days of Mirror Force, and not Mirror Force, and Heavy Storm and Monster Reborn and stuff like that, so it's not as many cards to get back to the hand with her now as it was back in those days. So obviously she's not gonna make a big splash. So that's that. Divine Wind of Miss Valley. They limited that for the Birdman and stuff, Blast Fan and special summoning and all that other craziness. They restricted it, which is fine. I never really played it, so it doesn't really matter to me too much. But overall, it hurts that combo to be restricted. And of course, you have the Ancient Fairy Dragons, of course, who would abuse the whole field spell engine of that to discard one and get the 1,000 and search for another one, activate. So you can't do that anymore. So that's that. You got Final Countdown. I ever see a win condition. There are decks structured around stalling for 20 turns. So that was definitely a good thing. It basically doesn't really matter once you activate it the first time. You just stall out for 20 turns and you win. So I guess they just want to lessen the chance of you getting it if you are building or have that type of deck. So, okay, that's cool. Sacred Swords of the Seven Stars, they restricted that to one, so why not hit the Dragon Rules of Draw Power? Why not? Why not? It still netted them that advantage. Actually, since they're all at one, you can still discard, rather remove, and draw two. Just can't search off it. That's all. That's all that does for it. Spellbook of Fates. Spellbook of Fates. Basically, that probably one next to Judgment was one of the next best spellbook cards in the deck. So there's still ways of searching it and recycling it. So it doesn't even matter that that is even at one. It really doesn't. All right, that's basically that. Semi-limited now is Chaos Sorcerer. Never really mattered too much about Chaos Sorcerer. Okay, he banishes a face-up card. Okay, that's cool. Light and Dark Special Summon. Alright. Next we have Lone Fire Blossom. Now that's rather important card for plants because they get their extra boost. And with there's a nice variation of the plant that uses all the princesses. So Lone Fire Blossom can get abused and special summon all of them princesses from the deck and stuff. They all have high attack and pretty decent effects that protect all the other plant monsters and stuff. So that's actually going to be a pretty important card as people will start to run plants again. Alright, so now we have no longer limited. We have Archelaw Christie. Sure, why not? She's already broken enough as it is. You actually just need to get her once on the field. And she stops all special summons and she gives you a search from the graveyard. Let's see, why not? Sure. Mizuki is at 3. Sure. Mizuki in play Spreader. Sure, why not? Give the zombies that extra bit of boost again. TG Striker is back at 3. That's good. You can play your TG stuns and TG agents and stuff like that. Turgot from the Underworld is back at 3. Alright. Turgot was never really a problem to begin with. Everyone always had access to it. It's not a bad card. Ptolemy M7 is at 3. I don't know, I never really abused the card or anything. It does give you pretty decent advantage getting cards from a graveyard or hand. Graveyard or field back to hand. Same thing with your opponent. You can graveyard back to hand, and it was a pretty good card. It's a 27 beater. Pretty good. Tenki is back at 3, which gives Fire Fist and Bujins back their boosts, especially the Bujins. Actually, they both very well benefited from Tenki's back at 3 because you have your 3 searches back. So now you have 3 Tenkis. Well, on the Bujin side of things, you have three Tenkis to search to Yamato's, Mikazuchi's, Arsuda's, and Harume's, which is coming out in our primal origin. And you have your 3 dualities as well, so you can just search its stuff as well. So Bujins have Tenkis, dualities, and Bujin Regalia the Sword just to search into, and then search back from the grave monsters and stuff. So Bujins are going to definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Alright, so that's basically it. My overall impression of the ban list is that I'm happy. Although they didn't bring my my Dragoons and my Divas back, I'm still rather disappointed in that, but you know, I guess you want to keep Mermels and stuff to a minimum, which is fine. Well, yeah, the Dragon rules are basically dead at this point. The only thing you can really use them for is, you know, tech cards for, like I said, corresponding elements, or you could put them all together in a sort of dragon deck, Blue Eyes, Disaster Dragon, you know, stuff like that. So, it's pretty good. So basically I won't be seeing any more dragon decks being played, just rather using all 3 as their base and stuff, so, which is pretty good, because they're all monsters to begin with, so. Alright, that's basically the ban list and my overall impressions of it. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the primal origin stuff. Alright, here we are at the primal origin. Alright, I guess first off, the artifact monsters that are coming out in this set. Those will be the ones I'll talk about first, because there are actually some pretty interesting monsters. I'll go into them each individually and talk about them. Alright, the first artifact monster we have here is Artifact Moralita. Light Angel, level 5, 21, 14. By the way, they are all fairy type monsters. Alright, and also they all have the ability to be set on the field. And they're all monsters that can be set on the field. Alright, so let's read off the first effect. You can set this card as a magic card from your hand in your magic and trap card zone. When this card is sent to the magic card zone trap, when this card set to the magic and trap zone is destroyed and sent to the graveyard during your opponent's turn, special summon this card. If this card is successfully special summoned during your opponent's turn, you can select one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the importance of that, because basically it's a very decent engine in and of itself. Firstly, you can work these cards with cards like Municipal Space Typhoon, Double Cyclone, which they're both quick plays, so they can be activated on your opponent's turn. And this first effect allows you to basically, when it's destroyed while in a spell and trap zone, special summon and then destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. So why not? You get basically a +1 advantage on the field. So you get your monster to the field, and then you can destroy one of your opponent's face-up cards. So it doesn't even matter if it's a monster or a spell or trap. So that's pretty good. First card to start off with. Secondly, we have Artifact Bengalita. Fairy type, level 5, 14 and 21 defense. Basically, same first effect. When this card is destroyed while in spell and trap, special summon, and then you can select up to 2 cards you control and destroy them. That's very important because that helps, speed up the deck when you have multiple of these cards set to the field. So that gives you an extra 2 monsters to special summon the field, and then they have their effects when they're special summoned to the field as well. So it gives it a nice little speed boost to it. Alright, next we have Artifact Felnaught. Basically, if this card is special summoned while in a spell is destroyed and spell and trap, special summon to your opponent's turn, you can select one artifact monster in your graveyard and set it into your spell and trap zone. So basically, this recycles fallen artifacts that are sent to the grave, or whatever the case may be, however way they got to the grave. So this resurrects them and puts them back in a spell and trap zone to be used again, which is pretty good. Next artifact, we have Artifact Aegis. Basically this one is same effect, first few effects, and then when a special summon during the opponent's turn, until the end turn, the artifact monster you control cannot be the target of your opponent's card effects nor be destroyed by them, which is actually pretty cool. So basically, when it's special summon, it is protected, and this one is a 25 defender. Most of them are defenders. You have a few of them that are attackers. Felnaught is 2000 attack, and the next one I'm about to read is probably the best one out of them. Basically, when this card is special summoned, activate when an artifact card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. So this card can special summon itself when it's destroyed while in a spell and trap zone, and it can special summon itself from the hand when it's when an artifact monster is destroyed. So that's pretty cool. So that gives you some speed as well. So you can destroy any of the other ones, they'll get their effects of special summon, and then he can special summon himself from the hand. And if he's set, it's just a lot of things that can go on there. Alright, now we have the last of the artifact cards. This is Artifact Candosius. By Angel, 16 attack, 24 defense. Alright, this card Special summon. Also, while this controller's face-up card, when an artifact monster is special summoned during your opponent's turn, draw one card. They only control one artifacts at the same time. Artifacts. So basically, he will be your draw power for the artifacts. Basically, why? Because he has 24 defense, so he's going to be holding off for a while. So he allows you to get the draws when the artifacts are special summoned to the field, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Then I'll go into some of the support that they have later. Next, I want to talk about some Bujins. Wolgard Harune, the newest Bujin in Primal Origin. Reading its effect, this card cannot be special summoned in the set. This card can only be special summoned by removing one Wolgard monster in your graveyard from play, except a Wolgard Harune. Also, if this card is special summoned this way, it's destroyed by your opponent and sent to the graveyard. You can activate this effect. Discard one card from your hand. Afterwards, your opponent selects one card in their hand and discards it. You can only control one face-up Wolgard Harune. Alright, pretty good effect to special summon, and of course, she is the strongest out of them with 2,000 attack. With 10 keys searching it out, it could be 21. Combos well with Arasuda, because you banish, special summon this, and then Arasuda effects activates when something is banished. A Bujin is banished from a graveyard or the hand, and then he special summons himself, and that leaves you with your normal summon to basically get out 3 level 4s to go with basically into our XZ counterpart, which I'll read the effect of that. XZ counterpart, Wolgard Princess, Amaterasu, Light Beast Warrior, rank 4, 26-25, 3 level 4 monsters. You can only control one face-up Wolgard Princess Amaterasu. Once per turn, you can activate this effect by removing one material from this card. Depending on the turn this effect is activated, use one of the following effects. This effect can be activated during your opponent's turn. Activated during your opponent's turn. Your turn, select one of your remove from play level 4 lower monsters and special summon it to your field. Your opponent's turn, select one of your remove from play level 4 lower monster and add it to your hand. So basically, if you during your turn, you can special summon one of your remove from play level 4 monsters, which allows you to special summon just about anything that was removed from the initial Harune summoning. So that can be Crane, rather you want to remove one of your Beast Warriors, so you can activate. Special summon your Yamato's, Mikazuchi's, Arasuda's, Harun. You can't second special summon Harume because you can't remove Harume from her initial effect. So you can only get the Yamato, Mikazuchi, and Arasuda. You can also remove any of the other Bujins you like, your Cranes, your whatever, to special summon in that. And actually, if your opponent's turn, you can basically, if you activated the effect to Harume's effect to remove the turtles, cranes, the quillins, the hares, and stuff like that, you can do it during your opponent's turn to add the cranes and the crows and all the stuff that requires you to get the stuff to your hand and stuff, and add those back to the hand. So if there's a case you're being attacked or anything like that, you can activate the crane's effect and get over monsters, crow's effect to negate attacks and do life point damage and all that other good stuff. So she has a lot going for her with those effects, and she has 3 times to activate it. So you basically just run her effects off for removal. And they do remove to activate their respective effects as well. So actually, that's why she's actually a really good card, and is actually worth the 3 level 4s to summon her, because you got a lot going for it. Alright, so that's her. Let's go into the XZ for the artifacts. Alright, this is a fairy type, of course. This requires 2 level 5 monsters, which all of them are, so it makes sense. Alright, so reading the effect. Once per turn, you can select and activate one of the following effects. You can activate this effect also on your opponent's turn. When a monster effect on the field is activated, or normal magic or normal trap is activated, you can activate this effect by removing one material from this card. That effect becomes select one magic and trap card your opponent controls and destroy it. Um, Also activate by removing one material from this card. Both players shuffle all cards in their hands to their owner's deck, after which each player draws as many cards as they return to the deck. So it can be a disturbance strategy for your opponent and stuff. And also you can make their opponent's effect destroy one of your spell or trap cards on the field to activate their effects. That's actually really cool. I like that. That's actually a really cool card. 24, 21, rank 5. Okay. It's not too bad at all. When the opponent activates stuff, you can make their effects. Select one magic and trap card on the field and destroy it. That's actually funny and pretty cool. I like that effect. That's really good. I like that card. Alright, let's go into some other cards. Alright, let's talk about Galaxyeyes Prime Photon Dragon. This card requires 2 level 8s and it's 4,000 and 3,000 effects. You can activate this effect once during damage calculation. When this card battles or by removing extra material from this card during damage calculation only, the attack of this card is increased by some of all monsters' ranks on the field by 200. Activate this effect when this card with Galaxyeyes Photon Dragon has XZ materials destroyed by your opponent's card effect. First summon this card during your second standby phase after activation with its attack double. This card has a Galaxyeyes Photon Dragon as material. All battle damage your opponent takes from this card is halved. Okay. There's a lot to read for one card. But upon its initial attack, it gains 200 for all ranks on the field. I'm assuming including itself, because it doesn't say except itself, which is actually really good. So that's 400, that's 200 times 8, that's 1600 boost on top of 4000, which would bring you to 56, and that's not counting the monster that Z monster that you're battling. So let's say you're battling the next card I'm going to talk about, which is a Neo Galaxyeyes Tachyon Dragon, which is a rank 9. So you add another 1100 on top of 56, which brings it up to 67. It's not too bad at all. That's only his first effect that does that. That's pretty cool. Alright, then explaining the second effect. Activate this effect in Galaxyeyes is the material on this card. And this card destroyed by card effect. It has a special summoning effect to bring itself back after the second standby phase. I don't really know too much about that because you can finish a game off before he has a chance to come back. So I don't know about that. Maybe if you're lucky and get that off, have some stalling in the meantime. When it comes back, it's going to be pretty beefy, and basically it'll damn near win you the game if you can get the attack off. So that's an okay effect. And basically the damage would be half. So if you're going for OTK right away, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you'll be taking 4,000 at best. If you hadn't already inflicted any damage on them prior to that, you may actually win the game. So it's actually an okay card, but I actually like Tachyon, Neo Galaxyeyes Tachyon Dragon better. So let's explain its effect. Alright, first, these are obviously Light Dragon XZ effect, rank 9, 45, and 3000. Requires 3 level 9 monsters. Basically, since this is a chaos number, you can use the variance force and stuff to level up. Alright, so reading its effect, once per turn, you can activate this effect by removing one material from this card until the end of the turn. These effects, all other face-up cards on the field are negated. Awesome. And during this turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of cards on the field. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud. Alright, also, if this card has galaxyeyes. Tachyonics materials, of course, it gains a following effect. Activate by releasing 2 monsters you control. During this turn, this card can attack monsters up to 3 times. So imagine attacking 3 monsters with 4,500 each. And they basically, no effects are in place, so you're not stopping his attacks. So this is why I like Neo Galaxyeyes better than Neo Galaxyeyes Tachyon better than Prime, because it will just outright just negate this effect. So I'm like, what's the point? Depending on which card is out first, it all depends on the situation. But ultimately, yeah, Tachyon is, I think Tachyon would be the better card of the two. To be perfectly honest, because it negates everything, and you can't activate anything after he negates. One. So basically, even if he Prime is powered up for any powered up, and it basically would just return his attack to normal 4,000, and he could just beat over with the 45. So I don't see why not. And plus, it's not being destroyed by card effects or anything, so it's not going to come back by his second standby's phase effect. So it loses. So I had to put that comparison out there. Maybe you guys will think differently. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Comment on the comparison between the two if you like. Alright, so let's go into some other cards that I would like to look at. One of the support cards for the artifacts. Divine Wisdom of the Artifacts. Special summon 1 artifact monster from your deck. You can only activate this card once per turn. During the turn you activate this effect, you can conduct your battle phase. Also, this card destroyed by your opponent. Select 1 card on the field and destroy it, which is actually really good, because you can it's a chainable card. So basically, your opponent could try to space it or anything. You can activate, get the effect off, fetch summon an artifact from the deck. As this was destroyed, it didn't matter if it was face down or face up. You still select 1 card on the field to destroy it. So you can plus on your opponent for 1 card, which is actually really good effect. Alright, next we have Warguard Decisive Battle. It's an unconfirmed effect, but I'll read it out anyway. Activate by selecting 1 Warguard monster on the field. During its turn, the selected monster destroys a monster by battle. If the attack is higher than its original attack, remove and play that destroyed monster, and also remove and play all monsters of the same name in the opponent's hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard. That could actually be a rather powerful effect, depending on what card you're hitting. So basically, if you're hitting an Exi like Ophion or something, you get to remove that Ophion, and then they take all the other 2, because you know they're going to be running 3 of them, and remove those as well. So you know, have a different variety of cards you can hit, and the cards, you know, that will be removed from play. Since Tour Guide is actually coming back up to 3, that'll be a pretty good thing to hit as well. So you can hit the Tour Guide, banish all 3 of the Tour Guides. If you're going over Grapha, you can Yamato into Crane, beat over Grapha, and remove all 3 Graphas from play. So that'll hurt basically one of the engines of the Dark World deck, and you know, stuff like that. There's a bunch of good stuff that it can hit, and it can hurt. Alright, that's that. Next we have Warguard Concealment, another effect unconfirmed. Activate by selecting 1 Warguard Exi monster with control, remove from play the second monster. Turn all monster on the field to your owner's hand. Till the second end phase after activation, either player can normal, flip, or special summon monsters. All battle damage is 0. Also activate this effect in the second end phase after activation of this card. Special summon a monster removed from play this card, and select 1 monster in your graveyard. Place on every special summon monster as material. So basically, it can buy you some time to get your cards together. Even though you can't summon, you can, you know, build up your hand advantage and stuff like that, and get your XZ ready for second end phase at the activation, so you can start basically resuming the game all over again. It's pretty cool, I guess. Alright, last card I want to discuss is Artifact Movements. Select one magic and trap card on the field and destroy it. And select one artifact monster in your deck and set it as a spell, as a magic card in your magic and trap card zone. Also, if this card is destroyed by your opponent's next battle phase is skipped. This is probably the best support card of the artifacts because it acts as a space typhoon, a searcher, and a battle phase skipper. So it has three separate awesome effects, and what makes this card better, obviously, is that it is a quick play spell card. Very, very awesome card. So you can basically run this, three of these, three space, three double cyclones. Double cyclone is also a quick play spell, and that'll basically be your engine to part of the engine rather to get these cards on the field even faster. Which is very, very, very awesome. I know I'm going to like this archetype when it comes out. I know I will be playing it. So, alrighty, that's basically that as far as what I wanted to talk about. Actually, it seems like a pretty good pack overall. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing when this pack comes out, because I'm definitely going to be playing some of the cards that are coming out. And obviously this pack list isn't complete yet because her roommate is going to come out with pieces and stuff to her, so we're going to see what her Bojinkis are going to be as well. Alright, so I'll leave it with that. The everything was cool. Actually, it's been a while since I've done my videos again, so basically I'll leave it with that. Another half an hour long video. So basically I'll be bringing you more videos in the meantime, but until then, peace, YouTube.